Let me ask you. I want to ask you a baseball question that you would know. When Josh Donaldson left Toronto,
Yeah.
do you think he was any good anymore?
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, sure.
You did.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I'm a little surprised that he's hung on as long as he has.
He is taking the brunt of the criticism. I mean, they booed him in the pregame introductions last night.
Well,
then he went 0 for 16.
Why wouldn't you boo the $300-400 million guy who had 62 home runs this year and hit was 1 for 16 against the Astros?
Yeah.
Giancarlo
Stanton, he's the guy who has been the most inconsistent of all those big sluggers not just in the playoffs, but over.
Is he worse than Judge? Judge hit 139 with 15 strikeouts in the postseason. 139. He's your number one guy. And I mean, it's, what's really interesting. I mean, you got to remember that 62 home runs, 131 RBIs, a 311 batting average. Mm-hmm. This guy was a superstar all year long.
He was must see TV.
Absolutely. And lays a big fat egg in the postseason. Does that change your opinion on whether you go get him or not? If you're the Yankees, are you scratching your head now? If you're the Dodgers and we're thinking we're going to go get Judge, or the Giants, who are supposedly interested, do you have second thoughts now?
I don't, but some people might.
I do.
Maybe he lost $2 million of his $400 million salary.
Well, I think you're probably right. I think baseball people, they want the bright, shiny star. They don't care what it costs. The guys who commit to spending the money, well, technically they're the owners, but the general managers want the bright, shiny star, and that's Judge still. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Is he worth it? Is he ever going to hit 62 home runs again? The answer, no.
The problem becomes is somebody like that. When you say, is he worth it? If you're talking about simple wins and losses and dollars spent, the answer might be no. But if you talk about intrinsic value to your franchise, corporate partnerships that grow, TV revenue that grows, advertising that grows, the multi-level platforms that baseball has done. Baseball has quietly done a better job than any other professional sport in North America with. I think he's worth it. So that becomes in the modern game, the way teams generate revenue on such different platforms, somebody like that will drive a lot of revenue. They will drive a lot of revenue. Not necessarily, as we learned with the Yankees getting swept by the Astros, win you playoff series.
Yeah.
And that becomes the real problem. That becomes the dilemma. And with the amount of money baseball is spending these days, I mean, oh gosh, it's crazy. No, look what the Texas Rangers did last summer. Who's going to be the Texas Rangers or last winter? Who's going to be the Texas Rangers of this winter?
Yeah. Look, whatever Judge winds up getting, and it'll be north of 30 million a year, well north. Mm-hmm. It may very well be 40 million a year. How much better is he than, say, George Springer? Another outfielder who's getting $25 million a year, is hurt a lot, and doesn't produce anywhere near what Judge does.
But then it goes to,
and I'm not doing this. This is not to criticize Springer.
Oh no. Listen, would you do the Springer deal? Would you do the Springer deal again?
No,
you wouldn't. See, I would. I think that overall, I think the Springer deal has been okay. I know that he's been hurt, but I mean, this year was as close to a year of him being able to. He wasn't necessarily healthy, but he played more games and did a better job. I liked him in center field, and I liked what he did at the plate.
I'm probably only going to give a $25 million contract to a pitcher.
You're not giving one to
Starting pitcher.
hold on. You're not giving one to Vladdy,
No,
not to Bo.
no.
So there's a good chance that they may not be here long term.
Assuming the organization has an economic limit. Like the Dodgers have no limit. Technically, the Yankees probably have no limit. The Dodgers
the
can spend
Steinbrenner-
$350 million.
The Steinbrenner kids like their money, obviously, as
Well,
opposed to what George wanted.
Clearly, but the Dodgers, the revenue the Dodgers pull in, for example, and the Giants to some extent, I think, they can spend $350 million a year.
And you don't think Rogers pulls that in?
Rogers pulls way more than that in overall, but not from their baseball team. The
No,
question
but
is how badly do they want a winning baseball team? But we're getting to the point where Rogers is going to have to make some serious decisions
oh yeah,
on economics, because Vladdy and Bo are both $25+ million players in the marketplace. Excuse me. And this team is quickly going to get well over $200 million, maybe over $300 million.
But I guess my point is, you don't think that, and I know Rogers is a publicly traded company for now.
Mhm.
I mean, they make enough money to be able to pay those guys that kind of dollars.
But they won't.
They're going to have to, though.
But they won't.
So
No, they won't. They don't have to. They don't.
Well, they have to keep them. They have to keep them
if they want to keep them.
Yeah.
This team hasn't won any championships.
So you now are.
This is not the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros, been there, done that, got that T-shirt. The Dodgers, one of the top teams in baseball, again, been there, done that, got that T-shirt. Blue Jays are not that team. It's been 7 years since they, had any success at all, and even then, it wasn't a World Series.
As we know, who was the last manager to win a series for the Toronto Blue Jays?
Well, Gibby,
our buddy John Gibbons, who we've made a media star, by the way. So
yeah. So
let me ask you this.
I'm not paying them.
Okay, so you're prepared to lose one or the other?
If I'm going to spend $25 million on a ball player, it's going to be on a starting pitcher. Not going to be any place else. No place else.